Before we get into the video, here's what this video is really doing. This theory breaks down how Fallout Season 2 uses Woody Thomas's disappearance as deliberate storytelling, how episodes 4, 5, and 6 quietly lock his fate into Vault-Tec's Phase 2 agenda, and why his absence is one of the most important signals that the Vaults have shifted from controlled survival to active experimentation.
Woody's missing. We should bring it up with the Overseer.
Now let's talk about the most disturbing thing Fallout Season 2 does, and it's not what you think. One of the boldest narrative choices in Fallout Season 2 isn't a violent death, a grotesque mutation, or a shocking betrayal. It's a quiet absence. Woody Thomas doesn't go out in a blaze of glory. He doesn't get captured on screen. He doesn't even get a final conversation. And then, almost casually, the show confirms that he is officially listed as missing inside Vault 32. That single word changes everything. Because in Fallout, people do not go missing unless the system either failed or made a conscious decision to let them disappear. Woody Thomas, played by Zach Cherry, was never framed as a major player. From the beginning, he's portrayed as earnest, well-meaning, and slightly out of his depth. As a junior council member in Vault 33, he believes in rules, structure, and process. He wants the Vault to function the way it's supposed to, but he lacks the authority and respect commanded by figures like Betty Pearson. And in Fallout, that combination curiosity without power is dangerous. Throughout Season 1, Woody is consistently present. He participates in council decisions, supports Lucy's marriage arrangement, and helps manage Vault governance during moments of stress. Importantly, he is never portrayed as rebellious. He doesn't challenge the system out of ideology. He believes in it. That makes his later fate even more unsettling. When Woody is reassigned to Vault 32 alongside Chet and Steph, the move is presented as routine, logistical adjustment, but Season 2 slowly reveals that Vault 32 is not just another vault. It's a controlled environment undergoing escalation. The real turning point happens in Season 2, Episode 4, and it's deliberately understated. Woody, still unfamiliar with the geography of Vault 32, accidentally walks into Davy's quarters. It plays like a character moment, reinforcing his awkwardness and lack of confidence. But as he tries to leave and reorient himself, he overhears something he was never meant to hear. A private conversation between Steph and Betty taking place in the intervault space. This detail cannot be overstated. The intervault space is not a casual meeting area. Its use is strictly regulated, reserved for rare sanctioned events like the Triennial Trade. Unauthorized use implies coordination at a level above standard Vault governance. Woody understands this immediately, and instead of dismissing it or pretending he didn't see anything, he does something that Fallout's world consistently punishes. He asks questions. Woody confronts Steph in her quarters shortly afterward. He doesn't accuse her of conspiracy. He doesn't threaten to expose her. He simply points out that what he witnessed violates protocol. Steph's reaction tells us everything. She doesn't deny the conversation. She doesn't justify it. She becomes hostile, evasive, and visibly unsettled. The conversation escalates until Woody has no option but to leave. Chet, who witnesses this exchange, comes to a realization that's crucial for the season's broader arc. Steph's ambition isn't about maintaining order. It's about consolidating power. And then Woody disappears. At first, the show treats his absence subtly. Fallout Season 2 is busy. There are multiple plot lines unfolding simultaneously. Vault politics, Enclave activity, Vault-Tec's resurfacing influence, and the growing sense that the past is no longer dormant. Woody simply isn't in Episode 6, even though he is supposed to play checkers with his mates.
Hey, what about Woody?
I was meant to play checkers this morning.
No explanation is offered. Season 2, Episode 6, titled The Other Player, classifies Woody Thomas as missing in Vault 32, not reassigned, not under investigation. Missing, that classification is not accidental. Vaults are closed systems. Every resident is logged, every movement is tracked. If someone were merely misplaced or temporarily unavailable, the system would correct itself. Declaring someone missing means the absence has been acknowledged and deliberately left unresolved. By this point in the season, another critical piece of information has already been confirmed. Season 2, Episode 5 establishes that FEV, the Forced Evolutionary Virus, is no longer just a historical footnote in Fallout lore. Vault-Tec's Phase 2 initiatives are no longer theoretical frameworks discussed in boardrooms or terminals. They are operational. Experiments are underway. The timing matters. Woody disappears before the broader confirmation of FEV activity becomes apparent to the audience. That places him in a very specific category. He isn't part of the public-facing implementation of Phase 2. He is part of the trial phase, the test run, the data point that never gets acknowledged publicly. This reframes Woody's role completely. He wasn't important politically. He wasn't socially indispensable. He was operationally useful. He noticed restricted behavior. He questioned it. He created a witness in Chet. And crucially, he existed at a level where his disappearance wouldn't immediately destabilize leadership structures. In Vault-Tec logic, that makes him ideal. Low resistance, low political cost, high informational value. Some fans have speculated that Woody was murdered off-screen. Others joke that he was flushed into the Vault's reclamation system. But Fallout has never been interested in violence for its own sake, when experimentation achieves the same narrative goal more effectively. Death ends a story. Experimentation prolongs it. It creates unknowns. It allows the system to extract value before disposal or transformation. Another theory suggests Woody simply got lost in Vault 32's labyrinthine corridors or locked himself away somewhere. But the show itself undermines this explanation. If Woody's absence were mundane, there would be no reason to institutionalize it. The system wouldn't label him missing. The moment the Vault acknowledges the disappearance without resolving it, the explanation stops being accidental and starts being systemic. What makes this storyline so effective is its restraint. Fallout doesn't show us what happens to Woody because the horror isn't meant to be visual. Not yet. It's meant to be structural. The Vaults are no longer passive environments designed to preserve humanity. They are active instruments of experimentation once again, and Woody's disappearance is the first clear indication that the rules have changed. Season 2 reinforces this idea repeatedly. Vault-Tec's influence is no longer confined to flashbacks or archival footage. It's present tense. Authority inside the Vaults is becoming opaque. Protocols are applied selectively. Transparency is disappearing. Characters who notice these shifts don't rise through the ranks. They vanish. Woody's absence also has ripple effects inside Vault 32. Chet is left unsettled, aware that something is deeply wrong but unable to articulate it safely. Steph's authority goes unchecked. Betty continues to operate from behind the scenes. The disappearance introduces fear without explanation, which is exactly how systems like this maintain control. People don't need to know what happened. They only need to know that it could happen to them. This is why fans are right to fixate on Woody's fate, not because he was a fan favorite, but because his removal reframes the Vaults entirely. If someone as compliant and well-intentioned as Woody can be erased without consequence, then no one inside the system is protected by virtue or loyalty. The rules are decorative. Safety is conditional. Fallout has always been about this tension. The idea that order, when enforced by corporations rather than communities, becomes indistinguishable from cruelty. Season 2 doesn't announce this theme loudly. It whispers it through missing names, through unanswered questions, through characters who stop appearing and are never explained away. So when viewers ask what happened to Woody Thomas, the real answer isn't a location, a body, or even a transformation. The answer is that the system advanced. Phase 2 began, and Woody didn't survive the transition. Because in Fallout, the most dangerous thing isn't the wasteland outside the Vault, it's what the Vault decides you're useful for once you're inside.